Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Susan Reyna, and I am here with Mo Diallo, and then we will talk a little bit more about who Mo is. But my name is Susan Reyna. I'm President and CEO of Beacon Therapeutic, and for the next 30 minutes, you'll be hearing about Beacon, in particular, the internship opportunities. A little bit of background on Beacon. We started in 1968. A group of parents were trying to find a specialized education program for their children. And they started a school literally in a church basement. And then fast forward to where we are today, we're the largest provider of mobile mental health services in the city of Chicago. We have 4 different locations, and I will put those locations on the screen. We have our administrative offices on 103rd. We have our homeless services on Western Avenue. We have our high school located at Calumet Park, and we have our Longwood campus, which houses our flagship programs and our elementary school. This is a listing of all of our programs. We do still have our day school programs. We have homeless outreach services. We provide early Head Start. We have a CHIPRA program that enrolls children into health insurance. We have a FACT program, Family Assertive Community Treatment, that really is working with homeless and at-risk young mothers ages 18 to 25. We have day treatment programs that we call Little and Big Intensive Outpatient Program. We have a 100,000 Homes campaign that's housing the most vulnerable families in Chicago. And then we offer traditional outpatient mental health services. Our mission essentially remains the same over the years, where we're empowering children and families by helping them find a better future through the provision of accredited educational services, mental health services, and social services. This is a live call-in show, so if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to call. The number is on your screen. It's 312-738-1060. So today I'm really pleased to have Moriba Diallo with us. Hopefully I said that right. With us today. Mo, as we so fondly call him, is an intern. He started with us right after the first of the year, pretty much, and has been doing some internship with us of his own accord. And so I'd like to welcome you today. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you, Mrs. Guerrero.
Call me Susan.
Thank you, Susan.
So give me a little bit of your background. I personally find your background quite intriguing. So give the audience perhaps a little bit of background, a little bit of your history, and then we can talk about what you're doing now.
Like she said, my name is Moriba Diallo. I was born in Mali, raised there, and moved to U.S. when I was 15. I live in Indiana, Bristol, Indiana. That's where I went to high school in Northridge, Millbury. If any of you guys out there know where that is, shout out to you guys. I got a chance to get a scholarship to come to UIC, where I play soccer, Division I soccer there.
Wow.
And I had a chance to participate in a lot of stuff while I was there. I did my undergrad in political science and international studies, and now I'm working on my master in financial management and nonprofit management. And I only have 5 classes left to go. So,
yay for you!
Yeah.
I think I really feel like your background has really led to who you are today. And I think particularly I was so impressed with your interest in doing this internship voluntarily. It's not something that's required by your program, which I know it's a very rigorous program and a very difficult program to get in. So clearly that bespeaks that you're a very smart guy. You really know your stuff. Clearly you have this rich athletic ability. Being able to play Division I soccer is wonderful. So currently you're in your master's program, and I want to make sure I get that right. You mentioned in College of Urban Planning and Public Affairs, but you're emphasizing in financial and non-for-profit management.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how that background has helped you with what you're doing now.
I mean, growing up in Mali, if any of you guys know where Mali is in Northwest Africa, there's a lot of problem there eventually. I mean, even now there is still problem. Growing up, there are still people the need they have, and there was no government there to help them out, take care of those needs. I mean, the government was there, but they were more occupied with other things other than just taking care of their own population. And I made this my own goal, to study how to help other people become better with their own life and move on forward. So my own goal was to become an ambassador, and that is still my goal. It hasn't changed since day one. That's the reason why I studied international politics, and that's the reason why I'm studying nonprofit and financial management. And hopefully I will come to reach that goal one day.
I think you will, actually,
help
based on what
people.
I've seen.
Yeah.
Now, I know you were fortunate enough to be selected to be when the Dalai Lama visited. You were part of that. Can you tell me a little bit about how you got selected and what you did?
Well, yeah, actually, I got selected for that because my coach called me when I was actually at my internship at Beacon. He's like, Mo, we just nominated to become one of UIC student ambassador. I was like, oh, what's that about? I had no idea until he explained more about it to me, where I will become like represent UIC
Wow.
to these great events, and I absolutely enjoy every moment of it. I had a chance to meet up with Desmond Tutu. Bill Clinton made a surprise visit there. Like
Wow.
she said, Dalai Lama was there, and some big time people who pretty much redressed the history of a war. You know, Lech Walesa from Poland and de Klerk from South Africa. These are
Wow.
people, like, when you think about political history of countries, like, these people changed the entire country, you know. So
That's amazing. Okay, so I didn't understand this. I thought it was an isolated thing, but this is something you've been doing for a long time now.
yeah, I mean, I've been doing this for
Wow.
a while, representing UIC. I become really involved with UIC, the university as a whole, not just for athletic program. When I participated on SAC, which is Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and through that process, I had a chance to meet up with a lot of people, not just in Chicago here, but in national level. And I had a chance to participate in UIC recertification Division One program, where UIC needed to be recertified to become Division One program again. You know, I was very pleased to be part of that, and I became part of a SAC in national level and in Horizon League level. So I thought that speaks a lot about how involved I am in the community and my willing to help others succeed in their own way.
Well, it sounds, excuse me, we must be having trouble. It keeps on switching to the screen. I was going to, how did you get involved with Beacon? I mean, clearly, you know, you have all these other experiences. So how did you become involved with Beacon?
I actually became involved with Beacon when I was up in Milwaukee visiting my girlfriend, and one of her friends, jokingly, I was like, I think I need an internship. I want to do some internship. And she mentioned Beacon Therapeutic. I had no idea what Beacon was at the time, so I did what everyone in my age, even not in my age, will do. They Google it. So I went to Google and find more about Beacon. I was like, this is great. It looks like they do everything I want to learn, you know. So from there on, I just submit my application. You give me a call, and we took it from there. And here I am today.
And so you've been at Beacon how many days a week?
Just during school year, I was going full time in school, 16-hour credit, and I was doing 3 times a week. I was doing Monday, Thursday, and Friday, because those days I didn't have a class at night, so I just went.
And so how do you think an internship helps students when they're pursuing their careers?
I mean, you gotta understand this. In class, what we learn is pretty much a lot of theories. There is not enough practice given us so we can put this theory into practice. So when I went to Beacon, that's pretty much what I become involved with. This is what you were learning in class, and this is how you work in real life, you know. Are they similar? Somehow, yes, but definitely doing an internship made me understand more about nonprofit, how to run it, more than just being in class and learning about it. Yeah.
We have a caller. Is there a question?
Yes, hi. I'm wondering, from your internship and experiences at Beacon, what have the children taught you?
It's an excellent question, because I think Mo's experience, or as you've been volunteering at the administrative offices, and we talk a little bit about what you've been doing there, but I know you've done some really great things with the kids. So tell me what you've done with the kids, and what have they taught you?
I mean, soccer is, someone told me how to play soccer when I didn't know how to do it. I mean, I didn't give them any money to tell me how to do it. So I didn't feel like I was on force or anyone is forced to pay me anything so I can teach this kid what I learned over a year. So doing that, not just that told me what I really, really wanted to do, I also see in this kid like something that they're so passionate about other things that is different from their everyday struggle. They want to do something good for themselves. They look up to this guy. They never met me before. They don't know me, but from just going there one day, hanging out with them, here is these kids getting excited and they want to play soccer all the time. They call you guys, see when I'm coming in, so we can play some soccer and stuff. It become almost like these kids become like part of my family. I get excited to see them as much as I hope they get excited to see me, you know, because I definitely look forward every Thursday to go on Longwood campus and kick around with these kids. So.
Yeah, and I think the kids are great because, and I'm going to put some pictures up of the kids, because I think, and you were saying some of the kids have never played soccer.
No, that's the funny part. Some of these kids, they never play soccer, but they pick it up so quick. You see them kick around, you saw them how to control the ball, how to shoot it. They start dribbling on their own and making great passes. And the funny thing was, I just trying to have a scrimmage one day, and I was like, wow, are you guys sure you never played soccer before? And they said, no, this is the first time, and it's awesome. We're going to do it again, right? I was like, yeah, we'll do it again, any day, anytime. So it was good. It was a great experience.
I'm glad, and I think, the kids were really buzzing about it because I think they did enjoy that. And I think, they play a lot of other things, and I don't know what our skill set is playing soccer with the existing staff. So I've been very glad that you've been able to do that with the kids. So that's like what you've learned from the kids. Now, you've also been at the administrative offices and doing a chunk of time there. Yeah. What kind of projects have you worked on there?
I work with development department and with the financial department. I help the financial department with the budget for a little bit. And most of my time I spend at Beacon, I spend with the development department where I help them find potential corporate donors and do a lot of research on them, make a lot of calling, and did community event planning, design designing, and other stuff, going to a lot of meeting with you. I honestly thought those meetings were very, very helpful because, being a CEO, it doesn't only help to sit behind your desk. You gotta get out and, interact with other people, get ideas and stuff. And I thought that was really excellent from you, going through all this meeting and stuff.
Well, I know you went to the charrette.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And that was, for those who aren't aware, that Chicago's in the process of redoing their plan to end homelessness. Yeah. The current plan is supposed to expire this year, so we're in the process of developing the new one. And they developed this model they called it a charrette, where there was a series, it was a week-long process, where there were experts that were talking about certain subjects, and then the audience was supposed to watch the experts discuss the issue, and then the audience would ask questions afterwards. So what were your thoughts on that process? Because I know I sat next to you and you were kind of like, what's up with that or whatever, but what were your thoughts on that process?
When I saw it, I thought they did a really good job by bringing in people who've been through this process before, like in New York, San Francisco, and bringing these people to talk. I thought that was like a really big step by them, and it definitely will help in the long process if they can bring not just experts, but people who done this before. They've been there, they've done it. So it could be a really great step, for Chicago to reach their goal in ending homelessness.
And then I know there was a large vocal group of consumers, folks who are homeless, youth who are homeless, providers who are homeless. And I think, it was interesting to sit next to you during that process because I think you brought a different view of that process, and it was helpful. And looking at all the resources that are currently being spent on homelessness, if you had some thoughts based on your theories that you've learned in school, what would be some different strategies that you would suggest based on what you know and what you've seen?
From what I know and from what I've seen, I think Beacon is on the right way. That bringing in these kids and get him off the street, that's probably the first start. But there is no one right answer in how to end homelessness, really, to be honest with you. I don't know anyone who has a one right answer for it, because it goes through a lot of different directions. There is poverty in there. Some people have mental illness. How can you combine all those and find the right combination and get rid of homelessness for all? I think the first thing to do is get them off the street and find them a right place where they can develop and become their own self and become self-determined and do good things for themselves without anyone pushing them or anything like that. I think that probably be a good start. get them off the street first.
I like the way you said not pushing them, and it goes back to a participant many years ago described what we do as a gentle guiding hand,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, okay, you got to do this. I understand we have a caller. Caller, your question?
Yes, I was just wondering, coming from Mali, how Mo views homelessness in the United States, particularly in Chicago area.
Oh, that's an excellent question. What are the parallels, or how different is it?
That's a funny question you said that, because back home in Mali, that's one of the last thing you honestly will think about. There is no homelessness in America, and people don't ever go angry in America. This is United States, let's be honest, But in Mali, I'm not gonna say there is no homeless, but it's very, very rare, because most of the time these people live with their family. Mali is a very, very family-oriented country. Family usually take care of these people. They don't have to go to institution and stuff like that. So we don't have a lot of those stuff there. It's more family-oriented back home in Mali, in my point of view, than it is here. People are on their own. That's a mode of America. You're on your own, and you gotta succeed on your own. So.
It's interesting because I think two things that you just said really strike, both in terms of the perception that in America we don't have homelessness.
Yeah.
And you go out of the country and everybody does think, how could one of the richest countries in the nation have homelessness? And yet we know it's increasing. We know family homelessness is increasing. And you throw in all the other issues of poverty and lack of education and nutritional issues and other health issues. But the other part of what you're saying is that, the family, the changes in the family dynamics, and the absence of maybe a family that can support. And I know within Beacon services, we see a lot of grandmothers taking care of their kids. And so where's the mothers? What are the issues that are impeding? So I think it's an interesting observation to hear it from. So if you had tons of money and you could do anything, what would you do with it to address homelessness?
In U.S., the first thing I'll probably do will be build a lot of shelters, get these people off the street first. That will be my start. And then bring in qualified staff who can treat people who need mental health, and train the one who need to get job, and probably provide other things for kids so they can go to school, the one who need to go to school, so they can learn to become self-sustained and be confident with themselves. You can just push people out of way. After all, they're human just like us. They might have a problem. Who doesn't? We all have problems. Some might have bigger problem than others, but we all have some problem. These are people that don't need to be looked down into. They just need someone to lean their shoulder and talk to. Myself, I enjoy going to Longwood campus. I enjoy seeing these kids. I enjoy just sitting down and talk to them. I enjoy every single moment I spend there with them. I wish I could go with it for all day.
Well,
if I could.
Come on over. And I think, it's been great, I know, for our kids to be around you, because I think our kids are always looking for role models. And I think it's a different exposure. I don't know how many kids have ever met folks from another country, and I think that in and of itself, it leads to all kinds of inquiry and questions. Where is this place that you're from? What was it like? And it broadens the horizons for our kids, which is so powerful. And I think for our work at the administrative offices, I think it's rejuvenating to have someone like yourself with different ideas. And I know one thing that I know that you did for me is that you'd kind of done a white paper for me on veterans, which we were looking at, is this a population that's increasing? And that research that you did on that is really helping shape some things that'll come down the line, because we know that veteran families continue to grow as a homeless population, and just veterans in general are growing as a homeless population. So what's happening to the children, what's happening to the families, the wives or the husbands, depending on who it is, and how we can work with them. So I think that work that you've done during your time with us really will continue to live on. And I know, what are your plans then? So, I know you're wrapping it up with us, much to my sadness. Hopefully you'll come back again. But what are your plans on a go-forward basis?
Well, just so you know, I'm not done with Beacon. I'll
Yay.
be back. So
Okay.
I will be back. My plans are, as of right now, I just want to finish with my master first. I have 5 classes left. and from there on, I mean, I'm on the market. Hopefully Beacon.
Yes.
If not,
Yeah.
I would love to work with any international non-profit organization really that just care about human being and want to make people better and the community overall better, other than just let them be themselves and not being cared for.
Well, no, and I think you're describing a very altruistic kind of approach, both in terms of, I think that's coming from yourself in terms of, you picked out an internship, nobody's paying you, you're not getting credit for this, of course we will support you, but I think the fact that, stepping outside of your comfort zone and seeking something like this out bespeaks of your character. And so how do you sell this approach of doing internships to your friends, to your colleagues, to your other students? What's the benefit to do an internship, and how can you motivate others to do this?
I mean, from a personal standpoint, I think doing an internship, it doesn't always have to be about how much I'm getting paid to do this, how much time it's going to take me to complete this. The experience you get out of it is what I love the most. There is no way what I got from Beacon I would have get that in classroom. Not saying anything bad about classroom. It's awesome because I'm learning a lot about it in classroom. But the experience you get, money will never replace that. Money can never replace experience for you. That's the bottom line.
So what's kept you motivated? I'm going to put some pictures of our kids up as you're talking, because I know this is what motivates me is, of course, the kids. But what helps motivate you? I know you've had some tedious jobs and done, something, I don't know, what kept you going?
I think what kept me going was just going there every day and thinking, what are we going to do next? What are we going to call next? Which kid I'm going to be talking to, like what I'm going to learn next. Because it was like something new every day. I honestly went. I didn't almost do the same thing over and over and over again. It was always something new. Either Jenny or Yvette, they were always giving me something new to do. Even you, like going in your office and talking to you, goes, okay, can you look into that?
Yeah.
Like I love doing that. It get me excited. It's almost like a challenge. Okay. Can you look into
what are we going to throw at you next? Is
yeah,
that it?
exactly. What do you
It's like those soccer balls.
Yeah, what's coming next? So I enjoy it. I love it personally. So,
what do you think makes Beacon unique?
They are passionate about children, and I think that's excellent. That's their mission, and they haven't gone away from it. They're still on that path, and I find that to be very, very interesting, because there is a lot of other organization. If you think about it, their missions change permanently, and some of them don't just succeed as well as Beacon did. They've been around since 1968, and they're still going strong. It's not slowing down. That's a proof that the organization is well run.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm actually going to put a few pictures on of something neat that you did for Beacon. So tell me what this is.
Yeah, this was we did this run. I think it was on April 21st. To raise money for children. It's a Wrigley Early Start Run at Grand Park. This is me and a couple of friends, and
our development director and your girlfriend was there. I know you rallied a few people. I'm gonna go, and I think it kind of shows a different way of what we need to do to keep going, keep the agency going. Any final thoughts? We're kind of running out of time. Any final thoughts, Mo?
What I will say is, Beacon is an old organization. They've been well run, and they still are going strong. Keep on that path. Like you say, you're gonna add something new to it. I mean, that is a good thing what you're adding to it, because this veteran woman, they need help. They need help. Maybe there is not just one agency who can do it. If there is something you're thinking about and you want to add it to, I think it's excellent. The more people they get help from, I think the better they will be. So I think that's great. That's a great idea that you want to keep.
Well, that'll be kind of, you can talk about it, your legacy. So when you become this famous ambassador, you can come and talk to us and talk to our kids. And how wonderful for them to say that, oh, I knew him, I know him. So how great will that be? Well, thank you very much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm going to put 2 pieces of information up. Next week, or in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking a little bit more about this. There's a run to help prevent homelessness. Beacon is one of the charities. We're looking to get participants and sponsors. It's called Run Home Chicago. You can go on the website and log on and register as a Beacon runner. And then also we have our Beacon Bash at Joe's on Wheat Street coming up July 26th from 6 to 9. And if you're interested, you can contact Peggy Rourke at 773-298-6441. Thank you again, Mo. I really appreciate you being here, and I'm really glad you're still going to be with us longer. Thank you very
for
much.
having me. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.